Good evening, and welcome once again to Community Issues, a tapestry of concerns. I'm your host, Alyce Smith Cooper, but you know that. You've been watching this show forever. I know you have. Either that or you found us by remote this evening, clicking through. In any case, don't move the dial, because I have a very special sister friend that I'm wanting to introduce you to, because she's been my sister friend for a lot of years. Her name is Leah Goodwin. Good evening, Leah.
Good evening, Alyce.
And welcome back once again. Just about every 2 years or so, we get a chance to have this meeting in front of the camera.
Isn't that nice?
It is nice. It is nice. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is because not only are you my sister friend, but you are an artist, a poet, and an arts administrator. And many people have no idea what an arts administrator does.
I know, that's sad, isn't it?
It is sad, and we're going to educate them right now.
Okay.
Please tell the people what you do as an arts administrator.
Well, you know, arts administrators are people who work in the arts and get paid to work in the arts. We're not starving artists. And we create a lot of different things. It could be someone that runs your art center or runs a museum. In my case, I run healing art programs in hospitals. So I work...
You went by that too fast. Healing arts programs in hospitals.
Yes.
Talk about that, would you?
So I work for a company, and we will go into a community and talk to the hospital and partner with the local artists and the local art organizations and find a way to bring art in the community inside the hospital to help those people who are there on their healing journey kind of think about something different. Maybe it's a picture or a storyteller or a piece of sculpture, something that takes them out of that sad time of worrying about either themselves or their loved ones and takes them into remembering that they are a human being with a mind, a body, and a soul, and that there's something else. So environment, you know, we're visual people.
Exactly.
So environments make an impact on people, and so what we do is change the environment.
And just for your point of reference, any of you that have been into Mercy Hospital, you've seen a huge sculpture as you come in and look up. And if you go to the left, you've gone in perhaps into the chapel, and you've seen a beautiful mosaic floor and a beautiful stained glass window. Or if you've gone to Children's Hospital, you've seen a beautiful fountain with sculptures in it. Or you've gone into other healing gardens. Any place that you go that you find art in a hospital setting, in a clinic setting, that's the healing arts environment. Absolutely. And that's what you do.
Yes.
Indeed. But you do much more than that. That's what you do. That's your day job.
That's my job, right.
And you go around the country doing that for other
all over the country
healing environments.
Yes.
But you're also a poet.
Yes.
And that's really where we met.
Yes.
Many, many years ago, working with the African American Writers and Artists
That's
group,
right.
and doing our poetry together. And so we call each other sister friends.
Absolutely, all the time.
Not just because we're friends.
It's not just sister friend, it's like, sister friend!
Yeah, that's it.
Hello!
It's a greeting.
Need my sister friend.
Exactly. It's a greeting, it's a salutation, it's a, sometimes it's a prayer.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a prayer. So we were going to share our poetry with you as we talk this evening. So I want to share this poem, many years old, out of this book called Bits and Pieces, which was done a lot of years ago. But this one is called Sister Woman. Sister Woman, no blood bond here, except the blood of the people, running through battered, battling, loving bodies. No family resemblance except for skin, hair, nose, feet. All speak to blackness. The family of multicolored skins, many faceted personalities, some flawed, many whole. Roots grow through time, space, water, earth, to rich, verdant Mother Africa. Sister Woman, mistress, master of your corner of life, my blessings to you. Continue your research, your mission, your growth. With each step of your feet, each spot of ground watered by your tears, every word of rebuke or touch of tenderness, you make my life more. then I too can replenish the streams of life by touching brother man, sister girl, brother baby, who is born of sister woman.
I love that piece.
Sister woman.
I love that. And I think what I love about that is it really tells, you know, this story. We were talking about, you know, how our art brings us together, but there's all these touch points in our lives around our writing or our performances together.
It's like the tacking in a quilt. Kind of holds it all together.
It holds it all together, and it takes on new forms, and it gets a little worn around the edges, and then a new piece comes in. And that we forget that what is really important is that moment or that poem you read that touched somebody that you didn't know it was going to touch them when you wrote it. And then, you know, you share it and someone said, you know, I needed to hear that.
Exactly.
And
exactly. We were talking a little while ago before the show started about doing another Mother's Day program.
Yes.
We did one years ago, and probably time to do another one.
It is.
Especially around Mother's Day, when Mother's Day can be really traumatic for a lot of people.
Yes.
Even if you've had a wonderful, loving mother and she's still with you. I mean,
Right.
there's all these things that come up around motherhood and relationships with our mothers and our daughters and all of that. And so I think we should do that very soon.
Absolutely.
Actually, May is coming up. Maybe we should do it this coming May.
We should do it this May. Absolutely.
I think that's something to work on.
When my mother transitioned a few years ago, I remember being in the store, as I have two daughters who are mothers, thinking about a Mother's Day card, and just, you know, I just lost it in the middle of some pharmacy, just, you know, crying, you know, and thinking, where do you go when there's a hole in your heart about your mother, when everyone's going, Happy Mother's Day? Well, what if you don't have a relationship with your mother? You know, and everyone's saying Happy Mother's Day. You know, why don't we just, like, celebrate motherhood in whatever form it arrives?
Exactly, exactly, because that is one of those tacking places in the quilt of life.
Absolutely.
Motherhood, fatherhood, relationships that are close and tight and sometimes nurturing and sometimes painful. Those are the things that propel us into life with more resolve, with greater strength.
Yes.
Especially, you know, I mean, you don't get to the other side of the ocean without some waves.
Yes.
And so oftentimes the relationships are some of those rocky times in our lives that let us know we can get through, that help us to know that we do have the strength. If we didn't have it, then it grows.
Right.
And we become more strengthened.
And we talked about friendships and how, you know, when you don't have that, you know, when you need someone to throw you a line or a rope, you know, it is that friend. You know, there have been periods in our lives where we won't be in touch, but, you know, I'll get that thought, oh, I can call Alyce because she's been there and she can help me with that. Or, you know, you can call me and we can talk about our grandchildren now. We used to be our children. And how critical to moving forward in life it is to have those solid friendships, to have those relationships and the ability to relate or give someone a prayer or just say, hey, I'm thinking about you.
That's right. And we've done a lot of that together. We've done a lot of praying together as well. But we also talked about, maybe this is one day on the phone not too long ago, about what happens when you think you have a friendship and then really it's, you know, this relationship has gone on for a lot of years and all of a sudden it's ruptured.
Right.
It's no longer there. And you get to thinking, now, what happened?
Right. It's painful.
It's very, very painful to lose someone that you have felt was a friend. But the truth be told, as far as I'm concerned, once a friend, always a friend.
Yes.
So if the relationship is not there anymore, what I remembered was I had made a covenant with this person's mother to be their friend.
Oh.
But that person didn't make the covenant.
Right.
So I'm still her friend. She might not know it, but I'm still her friend because I promised her mother that I would be.
Interesting.
And that to me was the ultimate. That was a relationship that I cherished even though she's gone on to her grave.
So you're really a friend to her mother.
Well, this is true. This is true. But her mother taught me how to pray.
Okay. Well, that's important.
You know, she really taught me the understanding of prayer. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't learn how to say, now I lay me down to sleep when I was little.
Yes.
But she, as an adult, she taught me how to pray. So I had this bond with her. And I felt a responsibility to respond when she asked me to always be her daughter's friend.
Yeah. And it's hard when your relationship, your friendships with, especially with women, with the sister friends, where you're trusting them, and and it's you have to learn. I've had to learn to let go of some people that you think you don't want to let go, but the Creator will let you know that you have to let go of people.
Pry your fingers off of this. Yes. This is not for you any longer. But that's a difficult thing to accept.
It is.
Because, we want what we want. This is my friend, this is my cut buddy, we've done this together, we've done that together. But sometimes in order for our souls to grow, we do have to release those things that would hold us back.
Absolutely.
It's sort of like if you're wanting to swim and you've got a millstone hanging around your neck.
You're not going to swim.
It's not happening.
That's right.
It's not happening. That's true. That's true.
So,
but many times we have prayed together.
Yes, our friendship has been a real gift in my life. You married my daughter.
That's true. I did. At the Escondido Arts Center.
Yes.
To say the less. I mean, that was a grand occasion and a grand experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And we've done so many things, and you ran the performance talks on the Center for the Arts.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I forgot about that. That was fun.
It roped you into a few things. Big stage.
Big audience, lots of lights. It was great.
It was, we've done then that's again, it's really been, it's a story.
It is.
We'll have to write it.
I'm up for that. I'm up for writing a story with you. I am. But I want you to share that poem about prayer.
Oh, about praying with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody out there might need this. Yeah.
Well, this piece is called Praying Together.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful for all the times so many times I can't remember that we've prayed together, because there have been so many, and I'm also grateful that I know there'll be many more times to come that we will be praying together.
All in the divine plan.
So if you pray for me, I will pray for you. We can each hold the light for each other. It's true. If you pray for me, I will pray for you. I can hold up your dream. You can hold my dream too. If you pray for me, I will pray for you. And inviting in spirit, we will learn what to do. If you pray for me, I will pray for you. We can learn to let go of the fear and move through.
My.
If you pray for me, I will pray for you. We can learn how to love. We can grow forever new.
That's why we pray together.
That's why we do it.
Well, there's something about that whole flow of creativity that we seem to have been able to connect with, and I think many of our friends who are creative people but don't necessarily call themselves artists,
Right.
We have that. We have that ability to tap into that creativity, into that ingenuity, or some people call it inspiration, but there's another word for it, intuition.
Oh, yes.
We call it lots of different things, but it's essentially the same creative energy. And I'm always fascinated with how we access that in different ways. Because, see, you have the organized people and run like campaigns. You just ran a campaign
I did
recently.
run a political campaign.
Yeah, I mean, you've done that in lots of different ways. Managed the National Medical Association's affairs,
Yes.
and did their public relations and things. But it's all the same stream of creativity. Mm-hmm. How do you tap into that, say, for instance, to run a political campaign?
Well, it's because it's got to be. I think it's got to be fun, and I'm an affiliator. I do better when there's a whole group of us working toward a common goal. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not so good at just, throwing me out front to do it by myself. I mean, for instance, both of the books I've co-authored with a friend of mine, Leroy Brady. So my challenge as an artist is to stand up alone and move myself forward. Mm. And I'm working on that. Mm-hmm. And because it's okay, but I like to get groups of people working on a common goal, making it happen, and getting inspired and reaching it. That's why I did street festivals and
yes, indeed, I'd almost forgotten about that.
Arts education programs, and it's just part of my what's that, Myers-Briggs, you know, one of those test sort of things. And I do really well getting a group of people together. I'm like the glue. You know, I moved away from San Diego for a few years, and I would talk to my sister friends, and I'd say, oh, what's someone's birthday? What did you do? And they said, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's right, because you were the one who always got us together.
As I was the one saying, okay, it's your birthday, we're having breakfast down at the beach, or we're having... And I said, what is the matter with you guys? I was up in Northern California alone, you know, and everybody down. And I came back, what happened? Okay, we're having breakfast on the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm the glue person. It's very interesting. You know, you watch yourself, and you learn, and I learned that.
That's a very special gift. Very special gift.
Yeah, and I do better. I'm a nurturer and affiliator, and I like to, you know, I think that's, you know, the shift that we've talked about, being healers, and how the prayer works. You know, I do healing prayers for people, and life prayers, and end-of-life prayers, and that all these, every single part of life, there's that touch point that, you know, that gift that we're given can come and help and serve.
Exactly. The spirit needs to be involved, but not just involved, made the star.
Yes.
Made to stand out and to emanate in a very special kind of a way. All of the things that you talked about are areas that, and times when we definitely need to celebrate. And sometimes life is serving you up slices that make you think, why bother? You know, but it's always important to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Someone once told a story. I think it was the Baal Shem Tov, the leader of the Hasidic Judaism, who told the story that when one comes to the gate of heaven to enter in, the question would be, how many times did you have the opportunity but did not celebrate? And that would be the cutoff. That would keep you from going in or oust you out. And so that gives you something to think about.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what's going on in our lives, we probably have some sort of an obligation to our souls.
If we're awake. And, yeah.
Well, there is that. Now, that's the other conversation that we have that's always been really quite beneficial for me, is that being awake, being conscious, being alert.
Knowing that it's all a choice, and even if it's a choice that you are not proud of, it's a choice you had, and, you know, and you move on, and you let go of the fear and move through.
And that's the thing that keeps us so often bottlenecked, entrenched, unable to move, is the fear.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm reading a book by a gentleman whose stories I just heard last night, and the book is fascinating. And he goes back to African proverbs, and he talks about fears and what happens to us when we allow fear to keep us from moving.
Yes.
And we think we're not moving, but actually we're being pushed back, because if we're not moving forward, we're definitely going backwards. And so fear can paralyze you.
Absolutely.
You know, the fear of the unknown, the fears about things that are happening around us that we're afraid are going to happen to us, or the fears of things that we've conjured up in our minds that don't even exist, but we're living as though they do.
Right, and we now know that if you conjure it up in your mind because you think it wants to exist, that it will exist.
Exactly, you've
because
created it.
Your mind and your words are so powerful. You know, I like to tell people that I'm paying attention to my intention.
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, what am I saying, and how am I saying it, and am I being hurtful? And
especially to yourself.
Especially to yourself.
Exactly.
Or what you didn't say that you needed to say. So there's that, and it's really that kind of focus of breathing in and trying to stay centered, and that's important.
Well, we're not teaching that in school. That's
well,
for sure.
We're not teaching.
We're not teaching it anywhere for the most part. I just recently heard someone say something about themselves that I felt the need to reframe in some way, but I couldn't really, because I didn't know the person well enough to say, please don't say that about yourself.
Right. Right.
You know, please don't believe what someone else has told you.
Right.
You know, I'm whatever. You know, I'm to this, I'm to that, I'm not enough of this, I'm not enough of that. The truth be told, we are all perfect.
Right, as we are right now.
And we can live that life. We can walk that way.
Absolutely.
You know, if our attention is easily diverted, then we can find a way to focus.
Yes.
If
Takes work.
Yeah, it is. It does. It does. You know, but nobody wants to work anymore.
No.
Everybody wants things instantly. You can go on Facebook and see things. Our show, even before we did it, is already on Facebook. You know, but there are some points at life that we have to work at to reframe our minds and to reprogram our speech about ourselves more lovingly, kinder, more respectful.
Right. And connect to human beings. I mean, I love technology, but I don't want to be in my room with my computer. I need to, I call up and pick up the phone. You know, the kids nowadays, you call them on their phone. They said, send me a text, and you have to text them back, and that's fine. But I worry about that lack of we're human beings, we're mammals, we're sensitive, and that lack of interaction. I work with probably 100 artists in my job, and and they'll always, pick up the phone or you tell them. But what's amazing, and I wanted to say this, is that everyone has a story. So we'll send out a call and we'll find out, someone will say, well, this hospital, my mother died in this hospital, and for me to put my art in this hospital is amazing. And this hospital, my kids were born there. Gee, for my art to be there where the kids are. And I think that there's just, there's just a million gifts around us. And we just need to see them.
And not just see them, but honor them.
And yes, absolutely.
And honor each other. We do so many things that just kind of come and go.
Right.
And we don't really take the time to say, I appreciate the fact that you took your time, because time is the only thing that we don't get back. Once it's spent, it's spent.
Absolutely.
You took your time to come and to support me in this, or I was really down that day and I got a card from you, or I got a call from you, or I got a flower from you, and it meant so much to my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's what being a sister friend is all about.
I am so proud to be your sister friend.
I'm glad to have a sister friend like you, but I'm also glad to be one.
Absolutely.
And I find that even though I might not be able to be present with all of my friends that I would like to be present with, maybe something like Facebook is helpful in that way.
It is.
I haven't acknowledged that as well as I should, and I think maybe I should. So for those of you who have said that you wanted to be my Facebook friend, I'm going to try harder. I'm going to try harder, because this is the thing that I'm clear about. It's about the love that we share.
Yes.
That's the energy. It's the love. So whether I get a chance to do it on the telephone, whether I can do it face to face in front of this camera, in front of all of our, community friends, or whether it's on Facebook, the love is what we're talking about.
Yes, and you could share a message of love to all your Facebook friends weekly.
Well,
daily.
I might do that. Let's try for weekly.
Weekly.
I doubt that I'm going to do it daily.
And that is something I think a friendly text is better than no text.
Well, this is true, because it's a communication.
It's a communication.
And the main thing I believe is that if we're doing it in love, that has all of the difference, makes all the difference
Absolutely.
in the world. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited. I got a real quick little poem. It's called Killer Fear, since we were talking about fear. Fear kills dreams.
Yes.
Like Stern's electric pace kills roaches. Dead as a doornail. Wake up one morning, find your dreams strangled in the nest by fear, saying, you are to this, or you are to that, or you're not enough of this, or you're not enough of that. What you say today, tomorrow, when you wake, will be true. Don't let fear kill your dreams. Fear is false evidence that is not real. But sister friendship is real.
Yes, it is.
And I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you came.
Here.
And I'm looking forward to that breakfast, brunch, or birthday brunch, birthday lunch, birthday breakfast, whatever it is. And we can have it any time, because every day that we wake up is a new day.
Absolutely.
A new day to be born. Thank you so much for coming, Leah.
Thank you, Alyce. So great to see you, and looking forward to Mother's Day.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that, and we'll let you know. Look for us on Facebook.
On Facebook. Absolutely.
We got to figure out where we're going to do this, too. We'll come up with it, because that's the one thing that we're sure of. The creative juices really start to flow whenever we're together. And that's another thing that you know about a friend.
Yes.
When you get together and creativity happens, that's usually a friend.
No matter how much time passes in between.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Take good care of yourself. You take good care of yourself. Take good care of your friends. Honor yourselves and honor your friendships, because those are what will very often support you in good times, and especially in those times that are not so great. But we all have them, because that's life. You can't have the ups without the downs. And getting through them very often is facilitated by a good friend. So many blessings to you. Hope that you'll continue to tune in and tell your friends that they can always tune in and watch Community Issues, A Tapestry of Concerns. And we'll be here talking to you about the things in the community that are going on that you'll never see on the 5 o'clock news. But we're here to tell you. God bless you and God keep you is our prayer. Let's talk about that Mother's Day thing.
No, I'm really going to do it.
Yeah. I got some poems.
I know.
Yeah, we can get them on there. You got to come see us? Good deal. Is that right? 35 seconds. Well, you know what? They're just going to have to roll them out.
Oh, there's 35 seconds? No, you're talking about love.
Could love drive you to fly? Could hope be the only way? And would it be a crazy question? Would you take it all and throw it all away? Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. And the world will break apart today. Could freedom be between the lines? Enjoy a life foundation springing up to find that every thought will lead to nothing, no matter how hard you try to define. Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. I open my arms to the end of time. I got one hand on a mummy and the other on a green tree, orange-eyed gecko. I got one foot on a street in the village and the other in a mine under Colorado sunshine. Under Colorado sunshine. Could you stand in the way of progress? Could you laugh it off and say, I'd let it all fall down and let the rhymes come? I'd waste away and let the roots grow around some. Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart today. Take me down to the final decision, and the world will break apart